Yes, welcome to the Jamaica Young Police channel. To our loyal viewers and subscribers, at the channel we are a group of law-abiding citizens who believe in the rule of law and respect the rights of every citizen, but not the ones who do not subscribe to such behavior. We do believe in and support preemptive strikes because it saves lives. That is a logical conclusion because preemptive strikes save lives and prevent the further loss of lives. We are all about saving lives on this channel. We at this channel aid criminals, their financiers, their supporters, enablers, and the likes with a passion, and we do not want them over here. Yes, let us repeat ourselves. We do not want any criminal supporters over here. Please, we do not want your views, your subscriptions, your likes, or your comments. Please go elsewhere where the red carpet is waiting for you. Over here, we want you, the criminal supporters, enablers, financiers, and all the likes, to go to prison or madness. Let me repeat myself. We at the Jamaica Young Police channel, we do not want the criminal supporters and their circle over here. We want you to go to prison or madness. Moving on to our video.
Yes, I am asking and begging all of you viewers and subscribers of the Jamaica Young Police channel and people in the diaspora in Jamaica, if you have seen this man, his name is Javon Pinnock. Yes, you know, some people on the street, they call him Froggy. He have a scar on the left side of his face. This man is wanted in New York by the NYPD for the murder of Javon Jamison, aka Blingers. The reason why I want we're advertising this man photograph and future mugshot is that this man has murdered Javon Jamison in cold-blooded. He and another man named Christopher King. Christopher King is in custody, awaiting trial, and it's coming up to the 2-year anniversary. And I'm just asking, I'm just pleading to you Jamaicans in Jamaica, because this man is in Jamaica, please, to do the right thing for once. Do not follow the criminal-minded and the carabuncles and the dirty bungles in Jamaica, and by protecting this man. He has taken a man's life and he needs to face justice, so that whenever the police when the police visit wherever he's hiding in Jamaica and he resists, they can send him to the departure lounge. The family just need justice. That's all we're begging you. So moving on to today's video. Yes, in life it's only take an adult to report whenever they are they have messed up, to say that I'm sorry. So this is right now you're looking at the thumbnail and you see where it says that Christopher Dudus Cook, breaking news, shower posse leader Christopher Dudus Cook should be on the streets of Kingston, Jamaica, February 27, 2025. Unfortunately, that did not materialize for various reasons beyond our control. We do not have control over Uncle Sam and what they want to do. But all we did was to share the information that we had received from our sources within the federal agencies, security, law enforcement. And this is one of our best sources. This is the first time that this source, the information was correct, but we're going to explain to you what happened. So clarification on Christopher Dudus Cook's release, lesson learned in reporting sensitive information. In February 2025, I published a story informing my audience that Christopher Dudus Cook, the leader of the notorious shower posse, was scheduled to release from Fort Dix Federal Low Security Prison that are in New Jersey, in the state of New Jersey. This information was based on reliable intelligence obtained from sources within the Federal Bureau of Prisons, BOP. At the time, every detail provided to me was accurate and there was no reason to doubt its validity. However, despite the information being correct, the expected outcome did not materialize as planned. Understanding the sensitivity of such developments, I chose not to rush into making a follow-up video until I could verify the full context and ensure I was relaying the most accurate, reliable, and honest information to my audience. This delay was intentional. Accuracy must always take precedence over speed. Not trying to rush things to get out there. We have to make sure that we are accurate because our credibility, integrity, and character speaks volumes. So that's what we have to do to protect that. So why was Christopher Dudus' quote not released as initially reported? This situation serves as a clear reminder that even when factual information is obtained, circumstances can change due to decisions made at the highest level of authority. In this case, the decision regarding Coke's release was altered at a federal level. The US government chose to reduce his sentence by 17 months instead of proceeding with his immediate release. And you'd have seen where the Jamaica Gleaner reported that they reduced his sentence. That was after we had done the story. So the reason behind this abrupt change, federal authorities did not want this information to be publicly disseminated. Once the story broke, they re-evaluated the potential implications of his release and determined that postponing his return to Jamaica was in their best interests and in Jamaica's interests, so as not to cause any confusion and chaos. Diplomatic considerations and the bigger picture. When dealing with high-profile deportations, especially figures like Christopher Dudus Coke, geopolitical and security concerns come into play. Jamaica as the receiving country, could face significant diplomatic, law enforcement and national security challenges upon his return. The US government likely factored in the possible unrest, criminal resurgence, or other unintended consequences that could follow his repatriation. That last-minute reversal highlighted an important reality. Governments have power to change or delay decisions, even when they appear final on paper. The security implications of Coke's release may have led to high-level discussions between US and Jamaican authorities, influences the ultimate decision to push his release date further. A message to my audience, lessons in reporting. To those who may feel disappointed by this turn of events, I want to take this opportunity to address the situation with transparency and accountability. Yes, human beings make mistakes, and in the realm of investigative journalism, even the most well-sourced information can be overtaken by shifting circumstances. I have always been committed to delivering the most accurate, fact-based and responsible reporting. And this situation only reinforced the importance of waiting for absolute confirmation. Not just that a decision has been made, but that it has been executed. Going forward, I will exercise even greater caution in reporting high-stakes development of this nature and magnitude. Next time, I will wait until not only is the information solid, but also until the individual in question is confirmed to have left US custody, board a flight, or landed in Jamaica. This is to ensure that no undue anxiety is caused to the Jamaican government or to the wider public, as this situation did not stir diplomatic tension that I am not at liberty to fully disclose. I do not have control over Uncle Sam's decisions, nor do I dictate how the US government handles cases like this. I am simply a messenger, one who committed to exposing the truth and keeping the public informed. My sources remain some of the most credible within the security agency, and I stand by my commitment to truth and transparency. So if you remember a few weeks ago or even a month, I did a story about Squash, that the FBI, that they were watching him. And even when Department of Homeland Security, they went on a raid near to where they thought he was living, and that's not their address, because the place is not in his name. People say that we're saying things for views. Then you saw what happened in Miami beach that over by South Beach. As I said before, I am simply a messenger. I apologize once again for the confusion or frustration this may have caused. Rest assured, moving forward, I will continue to apply the highest level of scrutiny to ensure that the information I share is not only accurate, but also final and fully executed before being made public. Some people, so stay tuned for further updates as I continue to monitor this developing situation. So some people ask, so why you not going to this going to look for Dudus? I don't know the man. So as we tell you, say, Christopher Dudus Cook's released from Fort Dix prison, the shift in the date and the implications. So Christopher Dudus Cook, the infamous shower posse leader, was initially slated to release on February 27, 2025 from Fort Dix prison in New Jersey. However, due to a reduction in his sentence, his release was pushed forward. We have no control over that. After we did the video, that's when, because you have to understand whether or not you want to believe it, Uncle Sam, the internet, everything is data. There's something that trigger, what you call it, not only algorithm, but the trigger where it goes right into the security system. And it filter out. And in time them see some things, that's how them know in time some things leak. But the information itself, it was classified and them declassified. But when them declassified, it was not for public consumption as yet. There are different levels of classification in the security apparatus of the federal government. So, our previous report on Cook's release was based on classified information that was later rescinded. The document initially meant for restricted circulation was declassified after public exposure forced authority to acknowledge the details. So Uncle Sam, they don't like any time things classified and them declassified to a certain level, but not for the level for the public exposure. And that is what happened in this case. So because of that, because as them call it leaking. But in this case, we know who they call it, say it was really leaking because, but that's how the Uncle Sam view it. You understand? And them rescind the order. So this means the information was not intended for public consumption at the time we first reported it. As a result, the result date was adjusted sooner than anticipated. So instead of them release him so him in Jamaica February 27, then just take some time off for him sentence, because that I don't want people to say that you are lying. Them just do that. So say, boy, the information, they know what they're doing. That's how the federal government works. Sometimes something happens, they will tell you all 10 different stories about the same thing. Then you have to wonder which one of them is correct. Because, it's just like even when, if you have served in the military here and and you've been deployed overseas and something happened, and on the news or cable news or local news, and they will give you like 10 or 12 different stories about the same incident. Then you have to wonder which one of them is correct. But it's coming from the same source. So you have to understand how the government operates. So our previous report on Cook's release was based on classified information. And it's just that. So this means the information was not intended for public consumption at the time when we released it. So we acknowledge that in hindsight, it would be prudent to wait until Cook physically board a flight back to Jamaica before releasing the story. So because of our reporting and because of the information we received, we had caused Christopher Dudus Cook, instead of to be released on February 27th, 2025, then push back him date. Just add some reduction to him sentence and push forward him date. Because, they don't want to say, look a blogger or, who share the information. If the information wasn't declassified, this would be something totally different. The FBI and all these people would be running up at the Jamaica Young Police Channel door and ask who leaked the information, and then that would take a different turn. But because the information was declassified, there's no there's no way to find, no harm, no foul, no law broken. You understand? And for this we apologize. Our commitment has always been provided factual and timely reports. But in this instance, the shifting circumstances led to an unintended early disclosure. This sudden shift raises critical questions. One, why was a classified document declassified so abruptly? Two, who pushed for the early release and under what conditions? Three, what does this mean for Jamaica, given Cook's past influence and connections? So the implication of his return cannot be ignored. While some may argue that his chapter in Jamaica's criminal underworld is over, others worry that his presence could reignite all alliances and rivalries, further destabilizing communities still grappling with the legacy of his empire. So with his early release now confirmed, the focus shift to what comes next. Will he seek a quiet life, or will he be drawn back into the socio political and criminal landscape of Jamaica? One thing is certain, his return will be one of the most closely watched developments in Jamaica's history. So we'll continue to monitor the situation closely, ensuring the public remain informed about the movements and potential implication of Cook's release. So we keep you, so stay tuned for further updates as more details emerge. And we at the Jamaica Young Police Channel, we are always believe in transparency, accountability, truthfulness and honest reporting. We don't say things because we want views. We have said things because we want to educate the people with facts, not hyperbole or propaganda for anyone. As we said before, intelligence, human intelligence, is not sacrosanct at times. Things changes. And people eat. You have some people where, especially in life, they work with ego. You understand? And we don't know whether if it was the Jamaican government had asked the American government to rescind it, or the American government say, based on one and two local things, this information should not be made public as yet, because, and they know that you have the security apparatus, especially when people have top secret clearance, you have a thing when you need to know, and people need to know. But it declassifies, so once it is released publicly, there's no crime, no harm, no foul. Next time we'll be more cautious. As we said before, we wait until we know that he's right there in Jamaica. And we know that it's because of our reporting why Christopher Dudus is still in prison, a low security prison in Fort Dix, New Jersey. Some people have said, actually, a PMP, like him and all of these things. And then, we just can't please people. But in conclusion, I deeply regret hearing the initial story about Christopher Dudus Cook's release before the situation was fully settled. While my intention was always to provide the most accurate and up-to-date information, this experience has reinforced a critical lesson. Decisions and intelligence can change overnight for reasons beyond my control. Governments operate on multiple levels, and high-stakes matters like this can shift due to security concerns, diplomatic considerations, or classified intelligence that may not be immediately disclosed. To my loyal audience, I sincerely appreciate your trust and understanding. My commitment has never been about chasing views or sensationalizing information. My character, credibility, and integrity are far more valuable, yes, than a mere $3 per 1,000 views that social media platforms pay. Yes, whether most people, it all depends. The average that you get paid for 1,000 views on YouTube is $3. So people might think that people I get rich on YouTube. $3 per view. Just calculate that. So if you those who have respect and regard them credibility and them character and integrity as everything, $3 can't make it, or even $1.50. You can't buy me. So what matters most is delivering truthful, responsible, and well-verified content. Because once trust is lost, it cannot be brought back. You can't buy it back. You can't bought it back. So the situation serves as a humbling reminder that even with the best sources, new developments can reshape reality in an instant like that. Moving forward, I will exercise even greater diligence, ensuring that information is not only accurate, but also fully executed before it reaches you. Thanks for your continued support, and always I remain committed to bringing you the truth with integrity and accountability. Have yourself a beautiful day. Jamaica Young Police Channel, out.